Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been quite a while since I've posted, and today I just wanted to talk about something that I'm very passionate about that has a very deep meaning for me, and I really wanted to share it with my audience because I feel like it would be quite helpful. Today I want to talk about how journaling literally saved my life. If anything, the purpose of this video is to show the importance of journaling, and if you're not already journaling, to get you into journaling. So I hope by the end of this video that you're actually convinced and maybe start a journal of your own. Let's go back to 2021, 2022 when I first started journaling. The thing that I really noticed was I found it quite difficult to put down my thoughts. I wasn't really sure what I was thinking, and I was thinking a lot of things, but I genuinely just couldn't put it into words. And the effect of journaling is really starting off simple, not trying to force yourself to journal too difficult prompts that you may not even know the answer to. So sometimes I would even journal maybe things that I like, just so I knew a little bit more about myself, because especially when you're a teenager, a lot of things are changing and you're not actually quite sure who you are, what you want to be. So journaling is a great way to record these things. Especially when I was younger, I would push a lot of my problems away and I wouldn't try to talk to anyone about it. So journaling was a way for me to get those emotions and those problems that were in my past or in my head at the time down on a piece of paper, so I didn't have to worry about it. Journaling does not necessarily get rid of your problems, but it does make you a lot more self-aware, so you're able to find solutions if you have a problem with yourself, or if you're able to find the problem at all. Because sometimes I know that a lot of people, they have problems with themselves and they don't know what it is and they don't know how to exactly pinpoint it. Journaling is a great way to maintain clarity and to simply get your thoughts out there into the world. And you may find that sometimes halfway through journaling, you might be like, this is not what I'm thinking at all. I'm just like making it up. So sometimes things in your head can be not necessarily true unless you write it down and you realize, I don't actually agree with this, and this was just something my head created. For example, you may have some limiting like self-beliefs and you simply don't really agree with it. When you put it down on paper, you're like, I'm not sure if I agree with that. So with journaling, you're able to rewire the way that you think. When I began journaling, I thought it was a simple aesthetic. I didn't really view it as a hobby. I just thought it would be something to look back on when I'm older, and that is definitely a great aspect of journaling. But something that I didn't realize was how much I was mentally changing. So ever since 2022 to 2024, I've spent maybe 2 years journaling, and in the last maybe 8 months, I've been journaling consistently almost every single day, and I have found a drastic change in my life. And if you aren't able to tell, the way that I'm even talking to my phone right now is quite different from the way that I was communicating in my other videos, my recent videos. So journaling has really been a way for me to grow my confidence and to simply find out who I am and who I want to become. And the way that I do this would be every single night before I go to bed, I would spend maybe 5 to 20 minutes journaling how I felt about that day, any thoughts that I have on the world, on myself, on my relationships. And if you find it difficult to remain in the present, then journaling is a great way to keep track of what you did that day, because I find it really easy to let time pass me by without really realizing why I did. So that's why journaling every single night enables me to, touch base on reality. Honestly, the most random thing that comes to my head, I'll write it down, and sometimes I end up writing for a couple of pages as well. So you'll be quite surprised what you might come up with. A lot of the times I tell people journaling is my favorite hobby. They're like, oh, I suck at writing, I'm not good at writing. You don't have to be good at writing to journal, because trust me, when I first started journaling, I would only write maybe a page. I would recommend, if you're just getting into journaling, start off with something simple. Start off with something light, maybe like your favorite season. Write about a wish list, a list of books that you want to read, something very simple, just so you get a grasp of how to turn your thoughts into an actual journal entry. Once you're able to connect your brain to your pen and book, you can actually start finding more difficult prompts, which will actually allow yourself to dive deeper into what you're thinking and what you want to learn about yourself. At the end of the day, no one's really going to read your journal unless they find it. You can write about whatever you want, and there's no one in the world that's gonna judge you for it except for yourself. When it comes to journaling and manifestation, I'm not big on manifestation, but I know when I write something down or when I'm thinking of something, that becomes my reality. This year, I'm trying to become a more positive person, and I'm trying to meet new people, more opportunities. I'm trying to become the best version of myself, and the only way that I feel like I'm able to do this is if I journal it. I have to always have some sort of positive intention behind what I'm writing. Instead of complaining or venting to my journal, I always try to remain present and grateful towards what I have in the moment. And when I'm grateful for what I have, so many good things come into my life because of that. So the thing is with journaling, don't mistake it for a vent book or something that you just dump all your emotions onto. Yes, our emotions may be negative, but if you're only complaining about what is going on in your life in your journal, you're going to see a lot more of these negative things come into your life, because that's the only thing that you're talking about in your journal. So instead, I recommend every single time I do vent in my journal or talk about any negative emotions, at the end I always try to conclude it back to something more grounded, positive, and more open-minded. Maybe you would complain about having a really bad day. That's totally fine, because everyone has bad days, and it's totally okay to reflect on your emotions, especially if it's negative. Don't try to push them away. But when you do have a really bad day and you journal about it, at the end, something that I would write would be like, I'm very grateful that tomorrow I will have a new day, a new opportunity to try again. Something like that, just to bring your journal entry onto a positive note, is actually how I use journaling to change my life in a positive way. So I hope that from this video I've convinced you to start journaling, and maybe you've learned a thing or two about journaling. And this is my own opinion, this is my own experience with journaling. Some people may have other experiences or other ways they use journaling to cope. These are the ways that have been the most effective for me, so I hope that you guys do try these methods or try use my advice and start journaling if you haven't already. I love you guys so much. I will try to post a little more consistently. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! If anyone is actually curious about my journals, I have 5 journals. I'll just go through them really quick and I'll speed this video up so it's not fun. So this is my 2022 journal. A lot of it is, like I said, very basic knowledge. So in my 2022 journal, I would have a lot of sketching, a lot of scrapbooking. I would really combine my entries with what I wanted to write. In 2023, I started a pink journal, which was a lot more positive. This one is where I started to see genuine change in my life, because I was putting a lot of intention behind what I wrote. So for example, I would write about my dream home, I wrote about video ideas for YouTube, and a lot of the things I wrote was quite existential, but in a way I was trying to ground myself by being positive. In my 2023 journal, this was more about mindset, manifestation, and my intentions and my goals. This journal for 2 months, and I filled it up over the summer holiday. So I had a lot of goals, ideas, and a lot of thoughts, because during the summer holiday I wasn't as productive as I wanted. I did enter some sort of like depressive state, which is why I used the journal, and it really helped me get out of that. Lastly, this is my collage journal that I have at the moment. I've only filled up a couple of pages, and then recently this is my go-to journal. I have a lot of writing in it compared to my other first few journals, so I'm trying to separate my creative side from my actual thoughts. I like to keep my journals quite private, so I'm not actually going to show like everything inside my journal, and I would highly recommend that for you as well. If you're afraid someone's going to find your journals, honestly hide it, because your thoughts are very important and you wouldn't want anyone else to read your journal unless you let them. So honestly, just sleep with it under your pillow or anything, because a journal is very sacred to me, and I don't want anyone to genuinely read through my thoughts or what I'm thinking. I hope you guys found this video quite useful, and I hope you use some of these tips in your day-to-day life. Other than that, I'll see you maybe in a week or 2. Bye guys!